Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I am your host, Taharqa. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week number 54 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. First and foremost, shout out to our man in Tampa, Gold 007. I almost called him Gold 00 Bill. If you watch the review show, you understand that joke. And shout out to JK and Mr. Legacy. But yeah, shout out to Gold 007 for letting us use that intro for the last 3 weeks. This is the last week we'll be using it and moving on to another intro next week. And before I go on any further, I have to clear something up. I made a huge mistake last week. There are two new gentlemen, or at least there were two new gentlemen in last week's podcast. That would be Taharqa, and that would also be would be DJ Lockturnal. And I actually switched their files by accident and named one the other, and actually announced one as the other. And they were actually both really great tracks, but you know, your track belongs to you. So my apologies to both of them. My apologies to anybody watching who may have gotten upset, you know, like family and friends, that kind of thing like that. It happens. I'm human and I don't get any sleep. So once again, my apologies. And we will make sure it never happens again. We would try to anyhow. What's going on this week? Well, as you know, a few weeks back, we lost one of the great soul R&B voices of all time. One of the greatest. I'm talking about the one, the only, the incomparable Bobby Womack. And I came up listening to Bobby Womack stuff because of my parents. You know, that's how I got a lot of my musical taste. And I was actually a fan of Bobby Womack when I was young. And as I grew older, I continue to be a fan. I continue to appreciate and listen to his music. And it's a shame that, you know, we did lose him, but he was, you know, a little up there in age. So he did leave a great legacy. So we are going to honor him this week by actually, some people would say honoring and some people would say otherwise, but I'm going to say we're honoring him this week by we're actually using some of his music and making some great tribute tracks. Or the other part of the game was you can make a track that you think Bobby would actually sing on. And we have 9 submissions this week. This is going to be a damn good show. So let me quit talking and get things started. Coming up first, a gentleman who just joined last week. That's right, another new member. And if I'm not mistaken, possibly our youngest member to date. A gentleman coming from Scotland who is, if I'm not mistaken, he's only 19 at the moment. 19, 20 in that area. And he actually has a nice little name internationally. He's actually worked with some of the people that I came up in the rap scene over here in Detroit. So this dude gets a lot of praise from me already. And let me quit talking and get to him. My man, N95. Let's see what he has.
So you know what's off the meter.
representing Scotland. Oh boy. In 95. Wow. Yeah, so he joined and he's like, yeah, I know I've worked with this guy and this guy and this guy. And there's people who talk a lot on the internet and they don't know that people are connected to each other. So I was like, oh, okay, let me go check you out real quick. And I went and checked with my man, a journalist, Journalist 103, went and checked with my man V Styles, and they were like, no, dude is official. And yeah, that is excellent representation right there. Shout out to N95. Love that. Kind of reminds me of another, I guess you could say, friend of mine and somebody I really respect from in Detroit, Apollo Brown, who's actually out here killing it right now. And N95 is definitely on his way. Definitely looking forward to hearing more from him at CMA. All right, moving on to another one of our newer members who just came in and made his debut last week, and I thought his track was really dope. Now that I know whose track was who, either way, both of those tracks are really dope. So we got our man DJ Lockturnal back once again. South Carolina represent. Let's go. Yeah, DJ Lockturnal back doing his thing. Oh yeah, that was nice. That was really, really, really nice. I liked everything about the track. I really did. I liked the intro. I liked the beatbox. I like the overall verse and chorus, and there was a couple of drops and some breakdowns in there. Really, really, really dope. My only thing, and I know he's still relatively new to this, is definitely the mixing. The mixing, definitely a little more EQing and panning, separation of the actual instruments or elements being used. But overall, really liked it, man. And definitely, and going back to the mixing again, the levels need to be brought up just a little bit because I had to increase it so you guys can actually hear it. But overall, excellent. Excellent job, my man. All right, moving on to our other gentleman who was wrapped up in last week's conspiracy. Representing right outside of Chicago, Taharqa is back. Let's go.
I know I ain't the guitar player I used to be, but when I was the guitar player, I was bad. I knew I was. They couldn't keep up with me. I left the pregnant girl behind me. I thought the cops would never find me. But oh, I got these shackles to remind me. I'm just a prisoner of love.
Mr. Bobby Womack.
Yes. Whew. Man. Brought that. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Taharqa is, that dude's a beast. I like what he's doing. I liked, it definitely gave me like a 90s kind of feel. You know, the 90s is my era. But, it definitely gave me a feeling of that mid to late 90s. As far as, you know, the way the beat sounded and felt. I liked the tempo. I definitely liked the use of what sounded like live drums, especially because he put some reverb on them and sounded really good. My only complaint about this particular track is that the piano was just a little bit overbearing, and it was really loud in the track. Not loud overall, but in the track, it seemed like it should have been a little bit lower, you know, a little more even with the track, even though it still could stand out depending on how you balance it. But it seemed a little loud, and it kind of took away from it just a little bit. But other than that, really enjoyed that track. And Taharqa is, Oh, the other thing, definitely little bit better job on the mixing, and that goes back to, you know, the piano. But once again, I know he and Lockturnal are just really getting started, you know, using Ableton Live, but I see very good things coming from those guys. All right, moving on to one of our guys who just kills it every time. Our man, Nelson Manzilla. Let's go.
A woman gotta have it, songs like that. I mean, the woman still gotta have it. She'll give it to somebody else. What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say, she needs love. What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say, she needs love. Yeah.
Nelson Manzilla. Look, I'm gonna have to get on the plane and go visit my man in Oregon because that track was too freaking short. A minute 15, dude. Really? Really? You on some 18 Dynasty type stuff now? Come on. Yo, shout out to Nelson on that one. He said that was like his first track that he's ever made that was like all samples. You know, Nelson is really sick on the organic stuff. And you can definitely hear this was all samples. I mean, and I believe even down to the drums. Yo, that was dope. My only complaint, and because it was so short, I think that definitely, what's the word, hindered the what's the word I'm looking for? The potential of the track because it was so short. I'm pretty sure knowing how he does his thing, he could have done a lot more with that sample, those chops, the drums, and everything that he used. He could have done a lot more with it. But what he did do was definitely quality. So shout out for that. All right, moving on to my man representing the UK contingent. I'm really, really interested in hearing what he did with this. Our man, Mr. Legacy. Let's go. Mr. Legacy doing his thing. Very nice track. I don't know, even though it was 2 minutes, for some reason it still seemed like it was kind of short, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the dance vibe, the four on the floor. Definitely like the percussion that was in there. The only thing that kind of irritates me, yeah, I guess that's a good word, is in the main part of the track, oh god, that was killing me right there. It sounds oh my god, here we go dating myself. My very, very first keyboard was a Casio SK1. Look it up. And that thing had maybe like 5 seconds of sample time, and it wasn't, on the capacity of like, MPC, SP1200 machine, anything like that. It was straight up 5 seconds. And since it was like a 25 key keyboard, it was the sample going, pitched through all of those keys, spread out through all of those keys. And that's what it kind of reminds me of is I used to do that and think I was actually doing something. Other than that, I actually liked the track. Felt like it could have been a little bit more going on with the track. I did like there was actually, somewhat of a build up, and then the main part, then a breakdown or chorus, however you want to say it, then back to the main part. I did like the track a lot, but that was killing me, dude. But overall, once again, Legacy comes with it and does his thing. I would like to see if he's going to go back and maybe do something else with that. So we'll keep you updated on those events. All right. Anyhow, moving on, since we brought him up a little bit earlier, our man 18th Dynasty. Let's see what he has. Dynasty back. Ain't seen that dude in a couple months, but man, I like that. That was a straight up head nod joint. Dynasty, he's from New Jersey. Got that East Coast. Definitely got that nice 90s, somewhat 90s East Coast feel. Man, I liked that. Just real kind of laid back. Definitely has some nice change up, some nice filtering, some nice chops, bringing stuff in, changing it in and out. Yeah. That's when I hear a 18th Dynasty track, that's what I want to hear. And he definitely came back to what we know from him, what we know that he can do, Yeah. That was hot, my man. Excellent job. All right, moving on to our man representing, once again, the UK contingent, Crooked Mystery Jazz. Let's go. CMJK. Cricket Mystery Jazz doing his thing. Yeah, that's perfect. Somehow that worked out where 18th Dynasty and then JK, Cricket Mystery Jazz. Yeah, that was nice. I really like the pacing. I like the tempo. I definitely like the chops. Jazz always comes with like really sick chops. He does his thing on that. And let me say this. I was a little worried. I don't know why, but I was a little worried because that intro or the beginning part seemed like it was going on a little too long. And I was like, oh, please don't let this go through the entire track. Please don't do that. Because that definitely sounds like an intro. That first part is definitely an intro building up to something. Now, what? Didn't exactly know. But once it got there, it was like, okay, cool. But yeah, I liked everything about that track. JK he's that dude. I mean, what else do you say when you hear a JK track? It better bang. And most of the time it does. So shout out for that for my man. And moving back down to our man in Tampa, Florida, Gold 007. Let's see what he has. Woo! Go. Gold is that guy. That was sick, yo. So obviously Gold took the other challenge of, actually creating something that you envision Mr. Womack singing over. And to be very honest, mid to late 90s Womack, yeah, big time. That is definitely him. I can hear his voice, his raspy, just sickening voice, just, oh boy. That was nice, man. We had a hangout, what was it, Thursday? And, we do that normally like once a month over at CMA. But we had a hangout and I was in there talking to Bill and a couple of other people. And, Fields pops in, and as soon as Fields gets there, he just starts smacking Gold in the face with all this praise and compliments, and talking about his musical acumen and talent and all of this kind of stuff, and it's all really true. Everything that he says, everything that I've been saying this entire time that he's been a part of CMA, this dude has been killing it. Man, and it's an honor to have him here, for real. That track, I ain't nothing else to say about it, man. We're moving on. All right. Our final submission for the week is our man, Stevan G. World Cup is over. He's back with us. Let's see what he has.
And he say, in my mind, I was so high. And so I'd make up a story. See, the writer can make up a story. And he say, and get down to him. 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 Get down to him.
Woo! The Potsdam beat banger. Stevan G. Now picture this. Gold 007, the track that he did where Bobby Womack was singing over it. That's the original. Stevan G's track is the remix of that. Tell me you don't see that. Tell me you don't see that. And you would be lying if you said no, because that's perfect. I hear that. It still has that same kind of, I hate to keep going back there, but it still has like a 90s vibe, a 90s kind of remix to it, for dance music. I can definitely hear that. I mean, that's crazy. The only thing I'm not going to say I don't like. The only thing I really wanted to see is just a little more happening with the track. But Stevan G has that way of, Stevan G can make 20, 30-second beats that he's just all in, and then he just disappears. the beat is just going. You're like, damn, where does the rest of it? He can do that. He has that talent. But man, that track... And then he actually had some interview, not footage, but interview audio in there, and that down. Oh boy, sickening. Yo, Mr. Womack, thank you for all of the music that you have provided for us over the years, and not just for us to sample, for us to enjoy, because I'm pretty sure a nice amount of these people that submitted to this particular homework, if not all, are actually fans and enjoy the music, can just put it on and listen to it and not have to touch it. But rest in peace, Mr. Womack. You are a legend, sir. And shout out to Stevan G, Gold 007, Crooked Mystery Jazz, 18th Dynasty, Mr. Legacy, Nelson Manzilla, Taharqa, DJ Lockturnal, N95, and thank you for watching, listening, commenting, sharing the video, supporting everything that we do. every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am done. If you want to do what we do, come on over to ProducerAcademy.com and join us. It's that simple. On that note, I will talk to you next time. See ya.